Good morning, people. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel as you come in here. Thought I'd hit y'all before I go work out. Got an awesome discussion we're gonna conduct this morning. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell as y'all come in here, the top one. Gotta get on this elevator. It's gonna break up the signal a little bit. Y'all just bear with me. Bear with me. What up, what up, what up? Peace. What was the workout today? I'm going after I get off this live. I got my gym clothes on already. Wake up with that pep in your step when you off that trifecta. Good morning. Doom, doom, doom. Good morning, people. Doom, 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 doom. I had to come into the office this morning. What up? You took that cayenne pepper and lemon shot first thing in the morning, before anything, after I brush my teeth. Throw it back. Been waiting on you to touch on this. Oh, I'm here. I'm here. Boom. Is this what you've been waiting on? He said it sucks to be Dame right now. I got some information I want to share with y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna have I'm gonna upload a green screen video. I did that first thing this morning too. It'll be up in a little bit. It sucks to be Dame right now. It's like they doing a K-Shine kick to him. If you follow me on IG, you've seen that DJ Envy has some slick shit to say about Dame. If you're wondering about the history, it's due to the fact that Dame did an interview on the Breakfast Club and he was, hooting and hollering about not having a boss, and he kind of like downplayed the working class man in that interview. DJ Envy was at the receiving end of some of his venomous comments, so everybody taking their time to kick him right now. Boom, 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 boom. Dames, he said you gotta do the shot before you brush your teeth. Hey man, if you want to get up in the morning with shitty breath going to the refrigerator grabbing shit, man, that's on you, man. My first trip in the morning is to the bathroom, man, to get right and shit. But you got that. He said, I feel sorry for Dame a little bit. Dame went at Jay for Cam. Dame deserves more than that. This is a very, very nasty exchange going on publicly, as you all know. 2 days ago, 50 Cent, it's been 2 days now. Yeah, this is like day 2, maybe day 3. 50 Cent announced that he has the rights to this classic movie behind me, Paid in Full, and he's gonna turn it into a series similar to the BMF series, and everybody's talking about it. Everybody is talking about it. He's so elated that he's still talking about it, but it seems like he more than likely, he keeps pushing the conversation of it to maybe irritate Dame. He posted this morning a picture of Fritz. Fritz was the guy who gave Rich Porter some bricks to go get his brother Donnell back when he was kidnapped by Preacher. 50 Cent posted a picture of Fritz this morning saying that this is one of the characters that you might see or probably will see in the Paid in Full series. So he's gonna put Preacher in. He's gonna put Fritz in there. Shout out to Pop Legendary. Pop Legendary is the son of Shorty Pop from DC. Shorty Pop was the young man who introduced Alpo to Wayne Perry. I seen him in the comments saying, if y'all put Wayne in there, y'all gotta put my father's character in there. My father was the one that introduced Wayne to Alpo, or Alpo to Wayne. Yeah, Alpo to Wayne. He said, why you zap that comment? Do I think somebody put roots on Dame? Nah, no, I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did. But prior to me getting on here, I uploaded a video last night and I was speaking about him. He be in front of the cameras a little bit too much. He made a video response to 50 Cent's announcement that Dame Dash made a video response to 50 Cent's announcement that he was turning Paid Full into a web series, into a series. And he named Cameron as executive producer. So Dame put out a video saying, "Congratulations, Cam. 50 Cent is now your boss." Why he did that, he's probably insulted. I'm pretty sure Dame had a hand in casting Cam as Alpo's character, Rico, in the movie Paid in Full. And to see him, someone who he probably held in a high regard, run off and do some business with 50 Cent. He probably is insulted, a little salty that someone that he helped put in position, Cameron, is showing his ass to him. After all, it's well discussed that one of the reasons that Rockefeller broke up was Dame Dash allegedly having a conversation with Cameron where it was suggested that Cameron would be a vice president. So let's say the fall of Dame Dash's, the beginning of Dame Dash's stumbling could be tied to Cameron. The decision that he made to, Dame said it was only a conversation, but Cam went on either radio or TV and announced that he was going to be the vice president at Rockefeller soon. For Dame to have had that conversation with Cam, let's say it was a private conversation, he had to hold Cam in a high regard as a businessman and maybe as a comrade for him to even think of Cam in that light. Getting back to the film, everybody's talking about it, and when you think about Paid in Full, you will naturally think to yourself, damn, they 50 Cent strong-armed Dame Dash's movie, right? And most people, myself included, was under the impression, we've always associated this movie with Damon Dash as if Damon Dash was, as if it was his movie, as if he was responsible for it, as if it was his movie. Dame Dash never owned this movie. Diddy Bop, I'm in because of the acid and the lemon. You made me laugh early in the morning. Okay. Dame Dash never owned this movie. So if it would make you think, when it was announced that 50 Cent had the rights, you say to yourself, damn, how did he get the rights to Dame's movie? It was never Dame's movie. He went over Dame's head to get the rights to the movie. What gave us the impression that this was Damon Dash's movie? It's right here. You see it? It says Damon Dash and Rockefeller Films present Paid in Full. It says it right there. Right above the words paid. Damon Dash and Rockefeller Films presents Paid in Full. So that's what gave Black America the impression that it was Dame's movie, because his name is up there on the poster. This is one of those instances similar to the Brooklyn Nets naming Jay-Z as owner. Or he was actually a partner, and he probably had a very, very small percentage in the partnership. But by the time it was presented to Black America, we were under the impression that Jay-Z brought the New Jersey Nets to Brooklyn. That's because the white folks basically said, you can say that, go tell your people that this is your business endeavor, because if we put your name on it, you're gonna attract all them niggas. They're gonna come and support everything that we're doing. So you can be the face of it. And that's what they did with Dame Dash in this case. Go ahead and put your name on our movie. Go ahead and put your name on our movie. Dame has often spoke about not having a boss, but Dame, in fact, had bosses with this movie right here. The financiers are the bosses. The financiers, they are the ones who are going to take the losses, or they will incur profit associated with the performance of a said film. Check it out. I went to Wikipedia and I looked up Paid in Full because I wanted to know factually exactly who was in control of the administrative positions associated with this film. God damn, what the fuck? Did the president get killed? Sheesh. Y'all bear with me, man. I'm being agitated, man. Like, they fucking up my flow, man. There's police cars everywhere, goddamn where outside my office. Fire trucks, police cars, all kind of shit. Getting back to what I was saying, I went to Wikipedia because I wanted to find out exactly who was in what administrative position associated with this movie Paid in Full. Right? Because I was saying to myself, Dame seems to be agitated. How did 50 Cent get Dame's movie? So I went to Wikipedia. And when I went to Wikipedia, it was jaw-dropping how much that we were in the dark as far as who owned this movie. Paid in Full belonged to white folks. Paid in Full, like everything associated with music and entertainment, belonged to white folks. It was written by white folks. It was the cinematography was by white folks. It was directed by white folks. It was distributed by Miramax Film. That's white folks. It was edited by white folks. Damon Dash and Jay-Z's name is listed under produced by. It says produced by Damon Dash, Jay-Z, Brett Ratner, who I recognize his name as being associated with the Rush Hour film franchise. AZ Faison, that's the real AZ. His name he played, Wood Harris played AZ's character as Ace in this movie. AZ and Steve Rifkin, that was the founder of Loud Records. Wu-Tang Clan was signed to Loud Records. So I'm looking at from top to bottom. It was narrated by Wood Harris. Damon Dash is named as a producer. Jay-Z is also named as a producer. But on the cover it says Dame Dash and Rockefeller Film present. That was a strategic move to make sure that black folks went and watched it. It made it sound good. I noticed that billionaires and people who have a lot of money, they practice something called stealth wealth. And they don't really care to have their name put in the credits and shit like that. They don't care about all that shit. They gonna get all of the money and profit, so they cool with it. This is a strategic move to put Damon Dash's name right there. So that's why everybody associates the movie with him. He said it was Harvey Weinstein's movie, right? Nah, it was hold on. I can look it up on here live in front of everybody. I think it was Bob Weinstein. Is that Harvey's real name? Is that Harvey's real name? Bob Weinstein. I'm gonna look it up live. Pardon me. Paid in Full is a 2002 crime drama film directed by Charles Stone III from a screenplay by Matthew Cyrulnik and Thulani Davis. It stars Wood Harris, Mekhi Phifer, and Cameron. Like I said, it was directed by Charles Stone. It was written by Matthew Cyrulnik, whatever. Distributed by Miramax. The budget was $7.5 million. It made $3 million at the box office. They took a L. It was released October 25th, 2002. I seen a Weinstein's name on here. I can't find it now. That's odd. But it was, I can't find it now. But when I looked it up this morning, I did see a Weinstein's name attached to it. whatever the case, it was never Damon Dash's film. The production companies, it's like 5 production companies listed. We were under the impression that, oh, here we go, right here. In 2017, one of the film's producers, Damon Dash, stated that he had aggressive interaction with co-producer Harvey Weinstein, one in which resulted in him slapping Weinstein. So he slapped Harvey Weinstein. These are all infractions that will make people be glad that he's stumbling right now. So yeah, I just read it. Harvey Weinstein was associated with this movie. It never belonged to Dame. We were under the impression that it belonged to Dame. Dame has often promoted not having a boss, but he in fact had bosses on this project. The financiers are the bosses. I believe Dame Dash was credited with production. He was given production credit, you know, named as a producer, because I believe he probably had a lot to do with assembling the talent. He probably stepped to Wood Harris, this gentleman right here, who was the narrator. He probably solicited Mekhi Phifer, who I believe is a New York native, to appear in this movie. And of course, he probably had a lot to do with casting his little man as Alpo's character, Rico. I thought Cam did a really good job as Rico. I asked Alpo what did he think about Cam in the movie Paid in Full. He said he did his thing. He said it was cool. He did his thing. He said, but it did more for him in his life than it did for me and shit. He said, oh, you clowned me for your last live, but now you're backpedaling. I'm not backpedaling. The fuck are you talking about? I don't backpedal. Did you see my last live stream about confidence? I fight to the death for what I believe in. The fuck is you talking about? I want y'all to go and check out that last live stream that I put out, and I was speaking about how a lot of entertainers and rappers that we see on camera, we put a cape on them, and we don't think that they are, you know, it kind of gets removed from your thought that this is a regular person. Dame is being very, very vulnerable online right now. He is. He's not the same Dame Dash that he was when he was doing that dance. In fact, he hasn't did a dance in a long time. Steve Stouty slapped with a bottle. He had to sell the rights to get the bigger studio. Dame didn't sell any rights. Dame didn't own any rights to this film. One of the guys who the film was based around his life was AZ. Wood Harris played his character. He's named as one of the producers. This was a collection of people who got together to put together a film. And I thought the finished product was great, but this terminology right here, Dame Dash and Rockefeller Films presents, that was something that he probably negotiated to appear on the cover of the film. I'm pretty sure this film meant a lot to him, being as though he's from Harlem. You know how he carried Harlem, Harlem, Harlem. And maybe some of the people that was in the film, who was depicted in the film, he may have knew them in real life. 50 is probably gonna bring AZ in the fold. Dame said he wasn't even in the country doing most of the film production. Cold Chain, good morning. I ain't got no Alpo videos. It seems like Cam is doing to Dame what he said Jim did to him. The interactions between Cameron and Dame right now, it only can be described as being one thing. Cam is not a nice person. He's not loyal, very disloyal, and borderline evil. I don't understand what Dame did that would attract this level of malice. Because again, the fall of Rockefeller was associated with Dame Dash suggesting that his little man, Cameron, be vice president. We should never get away from that. If he thought highly enough of you to suggest that you become a vice president over Beanie Siegel, who was there, over Memphis Bleak, and I know that that was received as disrespect. I know that that was received as disrespect. The nerve of you try to put a Harlem nigga in the vice president position, and my little man, Bleak, has been down since coming of age. Is you crazy? I know that that was received as disrespect, but it was Dame trying to help put him in position. He's Harlem, Harlem, Harlem. That's all that comes out of his mouth. He's Harlem, Harlem World. That's Dame Dash. She's always been like that. Him jumping out there like that seems to be what is a part of this initial problem. And I gotta admit, it seems like they changed exactly what happened over the years. I remember when this shit first happened. I think it was on 106 in Park with AJ and Free, where Cam announced that he was gonna be the vice president. I seem like I remember watching that shit. I think it was 106 in Park. I remember it, and he didn't really say, he said something about Dame. He was like, he almost said it like Dame is putting him in a position. During this time, Joel Santana said on a song, shout out to Cam for taking over the rock. More disrespect. More disrespect to the guys from Brooklyn and shit. So it just, Dame ended up saying it was a private conversation. But when it first happened, I didn't remember it being announced like that it was just a private conversation. It was almost presented to us, the public, like Dame was putting him in position. For real. Cam is just like his character. It's almost 900 people here and it's not even 100 likes. Y'all gotta like the video. All of them dudes from Harlem are not loyal. It's nothing new. Dame always says Cam is his little brother. He just like him. He need to stop saying that that's his little brother. Cameron don't like Dame Dash. He don't. It's very, very, in the streets, niggas get killed for shit like that. The shit that's going on between Dame and Cam, if this had played out in the streets, let's say Cam ran off with a plug or something like that, the Dame probably put him in touch to, and the plug turned around and cut Dame off, it probably would turn into gunplay. It would. I got a call from somebody yesterday and they asked me about, they like, what's up with Dame? I'm like, man, the nigga taking a beating publicly. He's taking a severe ass whooping publicly. He's taking L after L after L after L. And you seen my post on Instagram about DJ Envy. People seem to be kicking him right now while he's down. Why does he appear to be vulnerable? It's tied to confidence. If you're built upon an absolute confidence, nobody can shake it. But since I've been behind these cameras and since I've been in this entertainment business, I noticed that a lot of entertainers, rappers, their confidence be tied to their successes. Meaning, if they're winning, they run around parading like a peacock. If they're losing, they be acting like they lost their dog. I've noticed that a lot. I can't get on here and tell you how many. If you're familiar with my platform, you know that I deal with a lot of rappers from back in the day, or a lot of the old school. I've had to build these people up to appear on my platform. I've had to go and pick some of these people up to come to the interview or send for them in an Uber because they don't have cars. And some of them don't even be wanting to be on camera at all. I've tried to interview certain people at times and they just wasn't with it. They were just broken because they didn't have a hit record or they hadn't been in the driver's seat for a long time, and they're just broken. I've noticed that a lot. And Dame Dash seems to be someone who seeks validation from the public like a motherfucker. He can't just step off and, you know, rebuild himself. He's just tied to the losses that he's taken. He hasn't been able to regroup. Jay-Z said it a long time ago on that song, niggas saying they made Hove. Okay, make another Hove. Me? I would have been redirected my game plan and figured out how to get my dribble right. For whatever reason, he's stuck. And it's affected him. It's affected him. Don't forget how his teeth flew out of his mouth. His teeth flew out of his mouth because he was talking. He was talking about niggas instead of getting to work. Talking ain't gonna fix anything. It's not. You gotta get to work. Cam's a petty guy. Didn't they announce it on BET? For some reason, it seemed like I remember seeing it on 106 in Park. I was definitely watching TV when it happened. He said, yeah, the crowd cheered and everything. Cam is cutthroat. Harlem dudes are petty. It's normal. It's the same as falling hard. Man, you have to know by now that life has its valleys and peaks, right? And I've said this before on this platform. If it's going good, it's probably gonna be temporary. I'm serious. If something was ever going great for me, it was temporary. That's from relationships with girls, employment, career. That's just life. That's just life. If it's going well, it's probably gonna be temporary. Meaning, you're gonna have to find the strength to continue to play the game of life. That's just what it is. Everybody ain't wired like that. Everybody ain't wired like that. I made a video last night where I was explaining that my confidence is wired differently because I grew up playing sports and shit like that. Like that shit is just, it's in me from a kid up. When you get used to winning and shit, you just feel like you're not supposed to lose. That's a great frame of mind to build amongst self. You know what I'm saying? I bet white folks are comfortable around this guy. This was a great movie. It was. Gotta know how to navigate the storms, correct. Just seems like everyone around Dane grew over him and seen a lot of his ways coming to an end. The people that was around him continued to work. They did. Cam spoke about that, continuing to work. After the diplomats were in their glory, Cameron continued to work. He went with Votto. He tried to get something going with Votto. That was temporary. I believe he's always done fairly well in business outside of music. And then he has that logo. That logo is always gonna sell something for him. That Diplomat Eagle, that's an incredible branding piece that will always bring in some type of revenue. But he continued until he found himself in this podcast space where he seems to be flourishing again. He just signed a book deal worth $730,000, I think it was $730,000 or something like that, with Simon & Schuster. You got to figure out a way to keep it going. That's just what it is. Now I see what Jim was talking about, and the fact that he tried to get his kid for a bag is diabolical. I would punch him in his mouth. I wouldn't be the only one missing teeth. If he did that to me, I would slide him. It's probably gonna come to that. Cam probably know not to be found in the same room as Cam, he probably know. They say that nigga can box. He probably know not to be found in the same room as Dame right about now, man. Cause it would turn into something else, man. Like I would just eat the assault, man. If it's somebody that I would punch in the face, I would definitely punch Cam in the face. I'm serious. I'm serious. I would have to deal with everything the court would do to me, man. Like, it seems like ain't nothing gonna make him feel better. I was sliding. I was sliding. He said, Dame may not have teeth, but he got hands for real. Oh, shit. Dame may not have teeth, but he got hands. I'm keeping it real. But I did look up, you know, who was in the administrative positions that associated with this film. It never belonged to Dame. Who do you have playing Alpo for this new series? I don't know. I'm not really enamored with the Paid in Full story. It was a time when I was trying to profit off of it. I was trying to interview Alpo. But this story has been told 1,000 times. Like, I'm not even interested in watching the series all like that. I mean, when 50 Cent announced that he was bringing this series to life, the person that I am right now, I was just like, you know, when I seen the response that it got, I said to myself, number one, this is the only style of content pushed to Black America. This is the only style of content pushed to Black America. There's greatness amongst us. There's greatness amongst us. There's geniuses amongst us. There's scholars amongst us. There's people amongst us who probably deserve movies. He could have made a series about Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. He could have made a series about Sugar Ray Leonard. He could have made a series about W.E.B. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass. But this is what they stuck on. Snowfall, BMF, Paid in Full, American Gangster. Like, this is almost insulting to the aptitude of Black people and shit. Is this the only thing that we will be entertained by? Is this the only thing that we are interested in? It's almost a slap in the face that people in position to produce films, this is the only thing that they're interested in delivering to us. Spike Lee is a great filmmaker, and almost every film that Spike Lee put out, there was lessons associated with the movie. You could extract some information. You probably ended up being a better person after watching his films and shit. But everybody else, it's just like a bunch of shucking and jiving, you know what I mean? You got the drug shit that young boys seem to be a man enamored with. The young boys seem to want to aspire to be. Everybody want to be Big Meech. You got Tyler Perry. He cross-dressing in all his films and shit like that. It just makes you wonder where this shit is leading Black people. He said, what do you suggest? I just told you. There's a group of men who fought the Ku Klux Klan called the Deacons of Defense. I think that will be a dope movie. I think that will be a dope series. The Deacons of Defense. You just asked me, what do I suggest? I just gave it to you. I mentioned Minister Farrakhan. I just gave it to you. Shit, they could even, I would even watch a film or a series about, what's Yahweh Ben Yahweh. I mean, there's just certain people that deserve the marquee. Like, we can't be stuck on this. But everybody is just elated at this story that's been told 1,000 times and shit. I think it says a lot about people's pedigree and overall aptitude. For real. Southern men don't want to be portrayed as thugs. Deacons for Defense has already been made on HBO. You're right. But a series probably would be dope. He said Yahweh was a wild boy in Miami. Correct. And I think Yahweh Ben Yahweh ended up going to penitentiary. He might have died in jail. But he took over parts of Miami economically. They had grocery stores, laundromats, a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that story is worthy of being told. The creators of knowledge and culture, but all I see is and hear is drugs. It's the money back in 50 that wouldn't support that content. Okay. The Harlem Hellfighters, the creators of knowledge and culture. Dr. Sebi would be fascinated to educate the world and black community. I agree. Troy Reed lived in my building. I've seen this story already. We don't need this. Nobody can top the content that Troy Reed did associated with this topic. People was expecting I don't know, a documentary or a biopic about Alpo. Troy Reed did that documentary a long, long time ago, and it was good. And it probably was good enough. How many times we gotta relive this story? The Bobby Seale story, that's a good one. The story of the Black Panthers, that's a good one. The story of the Black Liberation Army, that's a good one. These people that I'm naming are gangsters too. The BLM, gangsters. Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, Eldridge Cleaver, all them niggas, gangsters. Cameron is goofy. Kwame Ture, yeah. The Alpo story is getting old. Donald Goines' life story, that sounds like a really good one. Dame is a pathological liar, can't take nothing he say is serious. I don't think he lied about this. I think he was put in a position to sell this to niggas. He the one that was from Harlem. He was one of the elders associated with it. He probably knew AZ to go and converse with AZ. And I've heard AZ said that Paid in Full was a book that he wrote, maybe called Game Over, some old shit, I can't remember. And they used the script and they twisted it a little bit and created this movie. So that probably had a lot to do with AZ being invited aboard. Subscribe to the channel. Peace God. What about Clarence X13, aka Father? That'll be a good one. Larry Davis series would be fire and very educational. First Black President, John Hanson, another one. A film series about Black Wall Street, that would be great. And they could be used as teaching, conversation pieces and shit. For them to keep glorifying this type of shit and pushing this to us, it don't say nothing about Black America and shit like that. Like I said, they could put out a series about Bob Johnson, the guy who owned BET and shit. That would be interesting. Don Cornelius. There's just people that we would be interested in their stories. What's my man from Barry Gordy? That would be a good series and shit. Something that would probably attract people and inspire young men to become moguls and shit like that. Quincy Jones, you got more. Khalid Muhammad, Casper Yanga, people are gonna tune in. I feel television hasn't done Martin Luther King justice either on telling a story. I think we got enough of Martin Luther King. Story about the first Black NFL quarterback. The shit that y'all saying to me, maybe y'all should relay some of this message to 50 Cent. I see a lot of y'all in his comments and y'all elated at the fact that this film is being remade. What the hell? All in all, let's talk about the dynamic between Cameron and Damon Dash. Number one, I see why Jay-Z got the fuck away from Dame. I do. It seems like it's a lot of extra shit associated with Dame. And I believe Hov probably would be somebody who could identify, like, I gotta get away from this nigga. This nigga be doing too much. I I could imagine that Jay-Z is sitting somewhere watching this shit go on with Damon Cam and just shaking his head. I would like to be the fly on the wall listening to him and Bleak and them Brooklyn niggas talk about this shit. Brothers are fighting. John Johnson, the creator of Ebony and Jet magazine. That's another good one. Rihanna says, cut your nails. That's not hygienic. You can suck my dick. My nails and my beard grow uncontrollably because I'm ultra fucking healthy. I've been busy working. These are working man's hands. You see them calluses and shit like that? I got shit going on. You shouldn't come here and be worried about what I got going on physically. Try to listen to the message. If you do, you too can be ultra healthy like the dribble. If Cam can do this to a friend or so-called brother, you different. Don't want to be an enemy. Correct. Dame is a narcissist, simple as that. Good morning from Norfolk. What cities is in here this morning? It's 900 people here. Y'all need to get the likes to 500, man. Get these likes to 500 and go watch my video that I put out before this about confidence. I put a lot into that video. Straight up. Confidence is, it's just an element that every man should hold in a very, very high regard and make sure that you got that shit together. Your confidence ain't correct, you won't win at anything, for real. Atlanta, New Jersey, the Bronx, Harlem. Let's do a docudrama on the rise of black social media stars. You will be one of the main characters. Interesting. Miramax is Harvey and Bob Weinstein brothers. Thank you. South London, what up? Asbury Park, New Jersey, Youngstown, Allentown, Nashville, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Ratlanta, East Orange, New Jersey. I can't believe he put Ratlanta. New Haven, Connecticut. Good morning to everybody. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. Gully teaching health, confidence, anti-sucker shit. You believe that. Chicago, Columbus, Ohio, Cherry Street, what up? Naptown in the building, Oakland, Amityville, the Bahamas, Detroit, Dubuque, Iowa, New Jersey, the Dirty South, Money Earning Mount Vernon, North Carolina, United Kingdom, Vietnam, North Philly, Chicago. We gotta talk about Chicago for a minute. Donald Trump announced he was gonna bring the National Guard to Chicago. I think they there. I think they got there yesterday. I could be wrong. I'm almost positive that they out there. Niggas made videos talking about some, the feds don't want to come here fucking around. These niggas got switches and shit like that. That was some of the most bizarre shit I've ever, that was the definition of retardation, for somebody to wrap their mind around the thought that some niggas in the streets can go up against the goddamn government. Do y'all know that they found Saddam Hussein in a fucking hole? Do y'all know that they found Saddam Hussein in a hole? Did y'all see what the fuck the United States did over there to them people who, when them niggas bombed the Twin Towers, the United States went over there and got on their ass for like 20 years straight. Y'all don't want no parts of the U.S. military, man. Y'all bugging the fuck out, man. Them people come through Chicago killing up niggas indiscriminately. There'd be bodies everywhere, man. Like, I couldn't believe that people actually got online. It was a nigga, fat nigga, got online talking about some, they got switches out here. The United States government don't even have to go gun to gun with some civilians, man. They can just drop shit from the sky. The fuck is wrong with y'all? That makes no goddamn sense. And one of the things that was the cherry on top in terms of Chicago needing policing, because Chicago, the city, was saying that they didn't want outside intervention. 80-year-old senior citizen, I think he's 75 or 80, was beat to death at a bus stop in Chicago yesterday or the day before. Nobody did anything. That was proof. That was proof. That was all of the trigger that somebody like Donald Trump needed to say, we on our way. Straight up. Is that video on here on IG? It was on TikTok. It's on Instagram too. It is. DJ Crowd 1, I appreciate your super chat. Do you know the streamer I Show Speed? Nah, I ain't familiar with it. While we are tired of gangster stuff, a show about the genius of Rayful Edmond structuring his business at such a young age under the nose of federal government, literally DC. Rayful did most of his life in the penitentiary, came home and died. That's a goddamn tragedy. We need other shit to talk about. He said got online sounding dumb as fuck. Yeah, these niggas just want to give white folks a reason to come and kill up black neighborhoods. Didn't y'all see what the fuck they did in DC? Y'all think y'all that much more dangerous than niggas in DC? Them niggas was the murder capital before too. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all bugging out, man. Like, to challenge the authorities in the United States, and niggas ain't got no cohesion. Just don't make. We seen niggas get rowdy with guns with these white folks in America. You see what they did to Fred Hampton in Chicago? Murder. Bugging. The first black woman to get a degree in America. Yeah, it was a terrible idea. They bombed the Rasta movement, if you remember, in Philadelphia. Yeah, dropped bombs out the sky, and that was the local police. These niggas is talking about challenging the Donald Trump administration. Crazy. We fight each other, and Crank got lasers, and they gave lasers. China got them. You need commas and shit like that, please. How about the new information about SEAL Team 6 trying to spy on another country and failed, killing everyone who was on a boat? I ain't familiar with that. It was moved. They were not Rastas. Nah, they were Americans. They just lived like they dreaded their hair up and shit like that. I don't believe this got greenlit. 50 was talking 8 Mile series in a Supreme Team. It seems to be at the top of 50 Cent's to-do list right now. After he announced it, it was a big ripple through social media. And you woke up this morning, the first thing he posted was a picture of Fritz, and he was letting everybody know that Fritz is one of the characters that will be casted in the series. They dealing with snipers. Them young niggas gonna quit or die young. National Guard soldiers can't stop Chicago. The National Guard is just there to somewhat enforce some shit, right? If y'all get rowdy with them National Guard niggas, fire a shot. Fire a shot at them, see what happens. Best wishes from London, England. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mary J. Blige went to 50 about doing an Alpo series when Alpo was alive. Gully, how would you move if you were Dame right now to get back up? Shit, he's in debt right now. He got to figure that out. It's been my experience that I'm inspired by people like Chameleonaire. There's people that stepped away from entertainment and music and shit like that, and when it made big money, he might want to look outside of the entertainment space. He keep trying to come back to a space that hasn't been kind to him. There's other business ventures that work. I didn't make my first $100,000 as a YouTuber. I made it in about 5 months, selling merchandise online through my websites and shit like that. That told me a lot. That told me a lot about business, that commerce and actual retail is where the money is and shit. For me anyway, but trying to sell live streams and trying to stream and get money and shit like that, that's only for a chosen few. Have you seen Cardi B out in New York City selling hard copies of her music right now? That's because people they're not being compensated for streams. Anyway, I wanted to get on here and touch on this and the exactly who owned this film. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I got to get to the gym and start my day. Hit the bell so you get the notifications. Go to my website and cop the TRIFECTA, man. It's very, very necessary. I can't stress that enough. And go watch my video that I put out before this about confidence. It's a must watch. I feel that Dame be seeking validation from the peanut gallery, man, when he need to just get his dribble right and move on with his life. Peace.